Hello, good morning, and welcome aboard to AM News. My name is Denisia Pomaije. In our very first story, residents affected by the stalled Ewoyaa Lithium project say the prolonged delay has left their lives and livelihoods in limbo, prompting fresh demands for compensation from Atlantic Lithium. At a press conference, members of the concerned Ewoyaa Lithium affected people (CELAP) said restrictions linked to the project have prevented many families from farming, building or making long-term plans. Now, the group has given the company a week ultimatum to pay compensation, warning of possible legal actions if concerns are not addressed.
We are all suffering, so government should come in and help us.
In 2023, Ghana entered into an agreement with Atlantic Lithium for the Ewoyaa Lithium project, a move expected to establish the country's first lithium mine. However, the project remains stalled due to delays in ratification. Frustrated residents of Ewoyaa are now demanding compensation from the company, given it a one-week ultimatum to meet their demands. At a press conference, the concerned Ewoyaa Lithium affected people (CELAP) in the Mfantsiman municipality said their livelihoods have been paused. In a statement read by the group secretary, Frank Aqua, they warned that community activities would resume if their demands are not met within the stipulated time.
For over 2 years, Atlantic Lithium Mining Company has prevented us from continuing our development. Our structures and materials on site are damaged. Our lives have been placed on indefinite hold. Sadly, up to this point, no compensation has been paid despite our repeated efforts. This failure is a clear violation of Article 20 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, which guarantees the prompt payment of fair and adequate compensation when property rights are affected. As a result, we have been prevented from continuing our projects and are now living in rented accommodations. We are struggling to service loans that were taken to fund these projects. Those of us who are farmers are also suffering because the company has placed a ban on cash crops, which has caused financial hardship for farmers.
Threatening a lawsuit, the group also called on Parliament, the government and other relevant stakeholders to intervene in the matter.
We the affected people, we are suffering. We therefore have no option but to demonstrate against Atlantic Lithium Mining Company in the coming days.
Serious.
If we are not compensated after this press conference and our impending demonstration, we will go back to site and work, and even that, we will still demand compensation for wasting our time and damaging our structures.
Yeah, exactly.
We also call on Parliament of Ghana, legal practitioners, chiefs, religious bodies, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice (SRAJ) to urgently intervene on our behalf. Furthermore, we respectfully appeal to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Emmanuel Amakofipua, to urgently intervene and ensure that compensation is paid to we the affected people in Mfantsiman municipality.
Yes.
From Ewoyaa, Abigail Lisol Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
Now, former Lands and Natural Resources Minister and MP for Damongo, Samuel Abujinapo, is calling for a more inclusive African mining sector with greater participation from women, youth and SMEs. Speaking at the mining breakfast meeting of the Africa Prosperity Dialogue 2026 in Accra, he said the sector faces limited local participation and poor value addition and urged the adoption of clear enforceable frameworks to boost local involvement, skills development and SME support.
In particular, also emerged as the leading gold producer in Africa, contributing approximately 4 million ounces in 2023. This growth continued in 2024 when national gold output rose to about 4.8 million ounces, making a significant year-on-year increase, driven in part by using production from both large-scale and small-scale mining activities. It is against this backdrop that the theme chosen for this meeting, and I quote, "Unlocking women, youth and SME participation in Africa's mining value chains, skills, technology and intra-African trade opportunities," end quote, highlights a pressing policy challenge for mineral-rich African economies. That is, ensuring that the continent's mineral wealth translates into inclusive economic participation and sustainable development. The question remains, how do we convert mineral endowment into broad-based economic participation and sustainable development? Africa's mining sector sits at the intersection of three defining realities. First, the continent is richly endowed with minerals that are critical to global industrialization and the green energy transition. Second, Africa has the youngest population in the world, with over 60% of its population being under 25. Third, small and medium-scale enterprises constitute the largest source of employment across many African economies. Yet, these realities have not been sufficiently connected within the structure of our mining industries. For decades, Africa's mining sector has been defined narrowly by extraction. However, and as you may know, mining in its truest sense is a full value chain. It begins long before the first mineral is extracted, and it continues well beyond the mine gate. Further, mining in many African countries, including Ghana, continues to be characterized by limited local participation, weak linkages to domestic economies, and inadequate value addition. As a result, the sector has not delivered a scale of jobs, enterprise development, and skills transfer that is capable of delivering. For Africa to truly prosper from its mineral wealth, then its women, youth, and small and medium-scale enterprises must be empowered to participate in the full value chain of the industry.
Away from the mining sector, the Innovate for Clean Agricultural Technologies InfoCat project has awarded grants to 6 young clean agri-tech innovators to scale their solutions across Ghana, Senegal, and Côte d'Ivoire. The awards were presented in Accra at a high-level policy roundtable that highlighted the importance of gender-responsive and youth-inclusive approaches to low-carbon development, with participants stressing agriculture's central role in sustainable development, poverty reduction, and food security.
Where are you from and what's your innovation about?
I'm Ewoyaa Emmanuel. I'm the CEO of Lineage Corporation in Côte d'Ivoire and the winner of the InfoCat Innovation Award. Our innovation is really solving a key issue, which is the water problem in agricultural issues. So what we did is we have a smart electronic system that is managing a very sophisticated, simple irrigation system that can save up to 60% of the water usage in a very efficient way. And everything is digital. So you can use your cell phone or your computer or whatever it is to talk to these devices and allow it to irrigate your plants the way you want. Depending on the type of crops you are growing, women are growing, they can adjust the system in a smart way through the electronic system to use the exact water that they need for their different crops.
So what we do is we manufacture climate smart agricultural machines like rice threshers, grain winnowers, and other machinery for service and for sale to smallholder farmers. And our mission is to ensure that farming activities are as easy as possible, taking away all the hard work and all that in a way of reducing post-harvest losses. So what we are going to do is we have a list of needs that we've already written, and with this support, we will start with our workshop. So all the design through the program, we use somebody's workshop. So it means we first need to get our own workshop, and then aside that, to upgrade our designs, so then it will be, energy efficient machines and all that.
So it has been a great milestone for the InfoCat project in Ghana, going through all the innovation challenge, piloting the innovations, and then even moving to the stage where we did technical appraisal of the innovations to find out how they perform in terms of emission reduction, energy efficiency, even ease of use. We are hoping that we are able to mentor them to use it to expand their business and also come up with great innovations.
Now let's circle back to the Central Region. The University of Cape Coast has formally admitted 24,457 students for the 2025-2026 academic year during its matriculation ceremony. At the event, the acting Vice-Chancellor, Professor Dennis Wolanyo Aheto, assured the fresh students of an engaging academic environment and a committed staff ready to provide both academic knowledge and a broad understanding of how the world operates.
For the 2025-2026 academic year, the University of Cape Coast admitted 24,457 students following what authorities describe as a keenly competitive admission process. During the matriculation ceremony to formally induct the new regular and distance learners into the university, acting Vice-Chancellor Professor Dennis Wolanyo Aheto described the ceremony as a time for new students to pledge allegiance to the school's authority.
The matriculation ceremony marks the formal admission of students into the university and provides you with the opportunity to pledge your absolute allegiance to the university's authorities. In this ceremony, you have already taken the matriculation oath, which affirms your studentship status within this university. You will then become statu populari, that is, bona fide junior members of this university, and therefore entitled to all the rights and privileges to which you have been enjoined. You have pledged by this oath to abide by the rules and regulations of the University of Cape Coast, as well as appreciate and cherish its objectives and goals. As you may be aware, the university has challenges with respect to students' residential facility on campus. University management is doing everything possible to ensure that students experience a congenial atmosphere for both social and academic work.
He assured the fresh students of a stimulating academic and co-curricular environment, noting that the university has a committed staff dedicated to ensuring students gain a broad understanding of the world.
At the University of Cape Coast, we provide a stimulating environment that offers a wide range of academic and co-curricular experiences. Our lecturers, scholars, and researchers are committed not only to helping you earn the prestigious UCC degree, but also to expanding your understanding of society and the world at large. We pride ourselves on training students not only academically, but also morally and socially. Our expectation is that by the time you graduate, you will imbibe the virtues of discipline, responsibility, patriotism, and ready to contribute meaningfully to national development.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Lesal Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
Now, the UNFPA country representative, Dr. David Wilfred Okan, has raised concern over the continued practice of female genital mutilation, despite laws banning it, noting that the practice has been pushed underground, with victims taken to neighboring countries. Speaking at the International Day of Zero Tolerance for FGM in Oli, Wa West District, he called for stronger stakeholder collaboration to eliminate the practice.
Female genital mutilation, FGM, comprises all procedures that involve partial or total removal of the external female genitalia or other injury to the female genital organs for non-medical reasons. The practice is outlawed in many countries, including Ghana. The World Health Organization estimated that more than 230 million girls and women alive today have undergone female genital mutilation in 30 countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, where FGM is practiced. Narrowing the situation to in-country, a baseline survey conducted by the UNFPA in response to evidence from the 2018 Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey and the 2021 Population and Housing Census showed while the national prevalence of FGM on women aged between 15 to 49 stands at 2%. Significantly higher rates persist in some parts of the country, including the Upper West region. Speaking at the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation at Oli in the West District of the Upper West region, Director, Domestic Violence Secretariat at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Malonum Asibi, asserted that without renewed political commitment and investment, an additional 23 million women could be subjected to the practice by 2030, who therefore underscored the need for targeted and sustained interventions.
The practice of FGM is a harmful social norm that has no proven health benefits, and yet often justified in the name of culture or tradition. Survivors may experience severe health complications, psychological trauma, and lifelong consequences that affect them in many spheres of their lives. Globally, more than 230 million girls and women live with the consequences of female genital mutilation. Current projections estimate that without renewed political commitment and investment, an additional 23 million girls could be subjected to the practice by 2030.
Though the practice of FGM is illegal in the country, practitioners of the Inhumane and Criminal Act now performs the trade outside the country and in secrecy, according to UNFPA country representative Dr. Wilfred Ochan in a speech read on his behalf by gender analyst Selina Owusu.
Instead of stopping completely, some families now take the girls and young girls across borders to avoid Ghana's law. What once happened openly now happens in secrecy. And when harm comes into secrecy, it becomes more dangerous. In these moments, girls lose not only protection under the law, but also the protection of their most basic rights. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is why regions like the Upper West are especially affected. Borders are closed. Families live across countries because from here we can just go to Burkina. So I'm sure we have families across the borders.
He called for concerted action from all stakeholders, particularly traditional and religious leaders, conceding that enacted laws alone cannot stop the practice without the support.
Now let's still stay in the Upper West region because the Wild West District Chief Executive Richard Wulo says fecal-oral diseases have significantly reduced since the introduction of the National Sanitation Day. Speaking at a sanitation exercise in Poyetanga, he urged residents to make environmental cleanliness a daily habit beyond the initiative.
Tens of hundreds turned up for the National Sanitation Day in the Wild West District of the Upper West region, particularly in the eastern corridor of the district, from Nyuale, which borders the Savannah region, through Ga, Samambo, and Poyentanga. Several residents, both young and old, came out in their numbers to take part in the national exercise. They cleaned markets, compounds, and the silted choke gutters in their respective communities. The biggest turnout was at Poyentanga, where maze of residents came in droves. They were joined by the Wild West District Chief Executive Richard Wulo. Richard Wulo disclosed that since they started the exercise, there have been significant reduction in the number of sanitary diseases.
It should be our core duty to always ensure that our environment, our frontage, everything, those who own stores, market centers, everything should be cleaned. Even the utensils we use for our cooking, it is good you put them in good shape to avoid diseases. So I'm urging everybody to take cleanliness as a very good step towards ensuring a healthy living condition. And I believe that Wild West District, ever since we've embarked on this monthly cleaning exercises, we have not witnessed any serious diseases that used to affect children due to a number of litter that used to just be hovering around the whole places. So I know this exercise is quite beneficial to the people, and we will continue to urge everybody to take part in it so that we will have healthy lives to live.
Wild West Environmental Health Officer Emmanuel Bauer was equally excited about the turnout, urging the people to cultivate the habit of cleaning their respective communities than waiting for the National Sanitation Day.
Science is very, very important to me and the entire environmental health unit. It is very, very important in the sense that our environment will be clean, and then we will do away with some of the communicable diseases, such as typhoid, such as diarrhea. So when the environment is clean, some of the fecal-oral diseases will be away from us.
The World West District Chief Executive, Richard Wulo, also used the opportunity to speak about the sighting of the 24-hour market at Poyentanga.
Poyentanga has been identified in the sense that we've done a number of consultations. You know, we are looking at visibility. We are looking at where the market will be situated, central to the people, so that you will be able to access it even in the night. So Poyentanga is located in the main Kumasi Highway, and it is always a busy area. And if you look at the Poyentanga market, currently the market we have in the Wild West District is one of the markets that give us a lot of IGF, and the people in the community are so supportive. So we believe that if the market is located there, it will boost our internal revenue base for us, and that is the more reason why it's being located in Poyentanga. It doesn't mean that all the other centers are not qualified for it. All the other areas are qualified for it, but we have only one place to locate it for now. We do know that other opportunities may come even subsequently. If there is opportunity to build more market, why not? We will have to go into other communities to do so. But right now, we think that building it in Poyentanga will serve the best interests of the Wild West people.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Poyentanga.
And that's it for AM News. If you want more news, I know a place, myjoyonline.com. My name is Denisia Pomaje. Up next is sports. Do enjoy the rest of the show.